Hey everyone, welcome back. So now let's work on these settings right here. Inside VS Code, here I'm going to import the component settings. We're going to create it in just a second. It is again going to be inside the profile folder. And here we are going to check if active item is equals to settings. And we are going to show the component settings. And we are going to pass in the new message pop-up here. It is inside user.new message pop-up. So when we created the user model, I showed you these values right here, these booleans, new message pop-up. By default, it is true. And we are going to pass its value inside our settings component. So now let's create this component inside our profile folder. And a React component. And inside here, we're going to receive new message pop-up. And here I'm going to import use state, use effect, and use ref. Also, we're going to need some components from semantic UI React. Here we're going to need form, button, divider, message, list, and a checkbox. So here inside this component, we are going to have some states. The first one is going to be show update password and set show update password. By default, it is going to be false. Let's change the spellings here. I added a W 2 times. So this state is going to control the visibility. So when the user clicks on this, only then we are going to show these inputs right here. And we are going to have a success state, success and set success. Use state is going to be false. So when the user successfully updates the password or the settings, update message pop-up settings, we are going to set this success to true and we're going to show a message. And here I'm going to create a use effect. And this is going to be when the success changes. So if success is equals to true, we are going to set a timeout to change it back to false. False, and after 3 seconds. And now inside the return statement, let's add fragments. Inside here, first of all, if success is equals to true, we are going to show a message. The icon on this message is going to be check circle. And header is going to be updated successfully. And it is going to have a success prop. And after this, we are going to have a divider and hidden prop. And after this, we are going to have a list. The size of this list is going to be huge. And it is going to have an animated prop. And after this, we are going to have a list.item. And inside this item, we are going to have a list.icon. The name of this icon is going to be user secret. And the size is going to be large. Vertical align is going to be middle. And it is going to be a self-closing tag. So let's change it. After this list.icon, we are going to have a list.content. Inside this, we are going to show a header. And it is going to have an as prop of a anchor tag. And we're going to have an on click on this. So inside this, we're going to call the function set show update password. And inside this, we're going to set it to not show update password. So this will basically toggle the state. And the content of this header is going to be update password. And after this list.content, we are going to check if show update password equals to true. We are going to show a component update password. And we are going to pass in the set success inside this. And also we are going to pass in this function right here, set show update password. so that we can toggle the state from that component too. And I'm going to create this component inside this file. If you want, you can create a separate component. So here, const update password. Here we are going to receive inside the props set success and set show update password. So here we are going to have some states. First of all, I'm going to show you what we are going to create. So when you clicks on this, I have created here 3 inputs, but I'm going to go with 2. This is basically just an additional input. If you want, you can create it yourself. But I'm going to create a current password input and a confirm new password input. And we're going to have 2 buttons here, confirm and a cancel button. So when the user clicks on this, the window will automatically close. So here we're going to have a state user passwords and set user passwords and use state. It is going to be an object. It is going to have a current password property, empty strings, and a new password property. And also we're going to have a state for showing the password and hiding it. And here we're going to have a state for show typed password. And set show typed password. So use state. It is going to be an object. The field 1. So this will be for the current password. It is going to be false. And the field 2. It is also going to be false. By default, both of these are going to be false. So when these are false, we are not going to show the password. And when these are true, we are going to show the password. And here I'm going to destructure out these properties. Current and new. Also the fields from our show typed password. Field 1 and field 2. And also here we're going to create a handle change function for our inputs. We're going to receive the event and name and value from e.target and set user passwords previous, spread the previous and name value, and inside the return first let's some fragments, and inside here we're going to have a form. It is going to have an error. So if there is any error changing the password, we are going to create a state for it. Error message is not equals to null. It is also going to have a loading prop. Loading, we are going to create a state for this too. So let's create a state about this. Const loading and set loading. Use state is going to be false. And also a state for error message. And it is also going to have an on submit, this form. For now, I'm going to leave it at e.prevent default. And inside this form, we are going to have our inputs. So here list dot list. So this is a component from semantic UI React, list dot list. This is not a typo. And here we are going to have a list dot item. And inside this item, we are going to have a form dot input. It is going to have a fluid prop. And the icon, we are going to pass an object here. The name of the icon is going to be I. Circular is going to be true. So this is the same implementation just like we did on our sign up page. Link is going to be true. Add is going to have an on click. The function, and we are going to call our set show typed password function. Previous. And here we're going to return an object, spread the previous. And the field 1 is going to be not field 1. So basically again we are toggling the state of the show typed password. We are spreading the previous and we are setting the field 1 to not field 1, so it will toggle the state. And the type of this input, if field 1 is true, we are going to show the text type, otherwise password. Icon position is going to be left. Label is going to be current password. And placeholder, enter current password. Name of this input is going to be current password. So make sure the name is same as this key right here, current password and new password. And on change, handle change. Value of this input is going to be current password. So now I'm just going to copy this input right here, create the second one for our new password. And here we are going to change the values to field 2. Here it is again going to be field 2. And here the label is going to be new password. And enter new password. The name of this input is going to be new password. And the value is also going to be new password. So after these inputs, we are going to have buttons for submitting the form and cancelling the form. Button. Let's make it a self-closing tag. So here disabled is going to be if it is loading, or if new password is equals to empty strings, or if current password is equals to empty strings. Compact, and the icon is going to be configure. Type of this button is going to be submit. Color is going to be teal. Content is going to be confirm. So this is our button for submitting the form. Now let's create a for cancelling. It is going to have a disabled prop if it is loading. Compact, icon is going to be cancel. Content is going to be cancel. And it is going to have an on click. So we passed in the function for this set show update password and set show update password to false. So this will close the window, close the component. And after these buttons, we are going to have a message. So this message will be for the error. So if there is any error, this will only be shown then. It is going to have an error prop. Icon is going to be meh. Header is going to be oops. And the content is going to be error message. And after this form, we are going to have a divider with a hidden prop to basically give some space between this and the next component. So now let's see if it works inside our local host. Let it refresh first. Settings. And now if I click on this, we get this enter current password and new password. And if I click on this, we get this right here. And if I click on this cancel, the component is closed. So in this video, we are only going to work on these layout right here. In the next video, we are going to work on the submitting part. We will create functions to submit the data on the backend. And also inside this update password, I'm going to create a use effect. This one is going to be when the error message changes. So if error message is not equals to null, we are going to set a timeout to changing it back to null. And it is going to be after 5 seconds. So now let's minimize this component, and we are going to work on the layout for updating message pop-up settings. After this list.item, we are going to show a divider. So let's create some states first. Const show message settings and set show message settings. I only use these big names for variables just because I want to be clear enough so that you do not have to search for the variable name, what this means. And use state is going to be false. So when the user clicks on this, we will show that component. And also we're going to create a state for pop-up setting and set pop-up setting. So its default value is going to be this new message pop-up, the prop we are sending, and we are going to create a ref here. Const is first run, use ref is going to be true, and here we are going to create a use effect, and it is going to be whenever the pop setting changes. And here we are going to check if is first run dot current. That means if it is true, we are going to return from this use effect. So is first run dot current is equals to false and return. So I'm going to explain this why we created this ref in just a second. First, let's create the layout. After this divider, we are going to have another list dot item. And inside this again, we are going to have a list dot icon. The name is going to be paper plain outline. The size is going to be large. And vertical line again is going to be middle. And it is going to be a self-closing tag. So let's move this. And after this, we are going to have list dot content. Inside this list dot header. And on this header, we are going to have an on-click. So set show message settings, not show message settings. So this will again toggle the state. And we are going to have an as prop of a anchor tag. And the content is going to be show new message pop-up. And after this content right here, we are going to have a div. Its style is going to be margin top of 10 pixels. And inside this div, we are going to have a text control whether a pop-up should appear when there is a new message. And I'm going to add a break line after this. And now we are going to have a checkbox. And it is going to have a checked prop. So this is basically going to be on the pop-up setting. So a pop-up setting is true, checked is going to be true. And it is going to have a toggle prop. And it is going to have an on change. So I'm going to leave it just like this right now. We will work on this function in the next video and check if it works. And if I go to settings, and this is being shown by default, I think I forgot to add the conditional. Yeah, right here. So let's cut this out. And here we are going to check if show message settings is true. Only then we are going to show this div. So now let's go back and refresh. Now I will go to settings and now it works. So now in the next video, we are going to add the functionality to update the password and update the pop-up settings on the backend too. So I will see you there.